Hello children, today I am going to teach you lesson 2 of economics. Sectors of the Indian economy. Introduction. Economic activities result in the production of goods and services, while sectors are the groups of economic activities classified on the basis of some criteria. The Indian economy can be classified into various sectors on the basis of ownership, working condition and the nature of the activities. All economic activity was in the primary sector during early civilizations. After the surplus production of food, people's need for other products increased, which led to the development of secondary sector. The growth of secondary sector spread its influence during the Industrial Revolution in the 19th century. A support system was needed to facilitate the industrial activity. Certain sectors like transport and finance played an important role in supporting the industrial activity. So these sectors were called tertiary sectors. Sectors of Indian economy. There are three sectors of Indian economy. Number 1 primary sector, number 2 secondary sector, number 3 tertiary sector. Primary sector. When we produce a good by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of primary sector. This is because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. Cotton and milk are example of primary sector. Since most of the natural products we get are from agriculture, dairy, fishing, forestry, this sector is also called agriculture and related sector. Secondary sector. The secondary sector covers activities in which natural products are changed into other forms through ways of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activity. It is the next step after primary. For example, using cotton fiber from the plant, we spin yarn and weave cloth. Using sugar cane as raw material, we make sugar or gur. So sugar and gur are the products of secondary sector. Since this sector gradually becomes associated with different kinds of industries that came up, it is also called industrial sector. Tertiary sector. After primary and secondary, there is a third category of activities that fall under tertiary sector and is different from the above two. These are the activities that help in the development of the primary and secondary sectors. These activities by themselves do not produce a good, but they are an aid or a support for the production process. For example, goods that are produced in primary or secondary sector would need to be transported by truck or train and then sold in wholesale or retail shops. Transport, storage, communication, banking, trade are some examples of tertiary activities. Since these activities generate services rather than goods, the tertiary sector is also called the service sector. Comparing three sectors. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the total production of the sector for that year. And the sum of the production in the three sectors give what is called gross domestic product of a country. It is the value of all final goods and services produced within a country during a particular year. GDP shows how big the economy is. In India, the mammoth task of measuring GDP is undertaken by central government ministry. This ministry, with the help of various government departments of all the Indian states and union territories, collects information relating to total volume of goods and services and their prices, and then estimates the GDP. Rising importance of the tertiary sector. In the current situation, children, the tertiary sector is the most important sector and it provides employment to many people as compared from primary and secondary sector. In the year 2011-12, the tertiary sector has emerged as the largest producing sector in India, replacing the primary sector. Why is the tertiary sector becoming so important in India? There could be several reasons. First, in any country, several services such as hospitals, educational institutions, post and telegraph services, police stations, courts, villages, administrative services, municipal corporations, defense, transport, bank, insurance company, etc. are required. Second, the development of agriculture and industry leads to the development of services such as transport, trade, storage, etc. Third, as income level rises, certain section of people start demanding many more services like eating out, tourism, shopping, private hospitals, private schools, professional training, etc. Fourth, over the past decades or so, certain new services such as those based on information and communication technology have become important and essential. The production of these services has been rising rapidly. Underemployment. Underemployment is a hidden kind of unemployment. Each one is doing some work, but no one is fully employed. That means all people are doing some work, but no one is fully working. This is the situation of underemployment, where people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potential. This kind of underemployment is hidden in contrast to someone who does not have a job and is clearly visible as unemployed. Hence, it is also called disguised unemployment. This means that even if we remove a lot of people from agricultural sector and provide them with proper work elsewhere, agricultural production will not suffer. Underemployment can be also seen in tertiary sector. They may spend the whole day but earn very little. They are doing this work because they do not have better opportunities. Creating more employment. Along with water, we also need to provide cheap agricultural credit to the farmers for farming to improve. Identify, promote and locate industries and services in semi-rural areas where a large number of people may be employed. Opening cold storage could give an opportunity for farmers to store their products like potatoes and onions and sell them when the price is good. In villages near forest areas, we can start honey collection center where farmers can come and sell wild honey. It is also possible to set up industries that processes vegetables and agricultural produce like potato, sweet potato, rice, wheat, tomato, fruits which can be sold in outside market. So these are the steps by which we can create more employment. Creating more employment, continued part. This will provide employment in industries located in semi-rural areas and not necessarily in large urban centers. Planning Commission estimates that nearly 20 lakh jobs can be created in the education sector alone. Similarly, if we are to improve the health situation, We need many more doctors, nurses, health workers, etc. to work in rural areas. Study by the Planning Commission says that if tourism as a sector is improved, every year we can give additional employment to more than 35 lakh people. These are some ways by which we can create more employment. Manrega 2005. The central government in India made a law implementing the right to work in about 625 districts of India. It is called Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005. Under Manrega 2005, all those who are able to and are in need of work in rural areas are guaranteed 100 days of employment in a year by the government. If the government fails in its duty to provide employment, it will give unemployment allowances to the people. Organized sectors. Organized sector covers those enterprises or places of work where the terms of employment are regular and therefore people have assured work. They are registered by the government and have to follow its rules and regulations, which are given in various laws such as the Factory Act, Minimum Wage Act, Payment of Gratuity Act, Shops and Establishment Act, etc. It is called organized because it has some formal processes and procedures. Some of these people may not be employed by anyone but may work on their own, but they too have to register themselves with the government and follow the rules and regulations. Organized sector continued. Workers in the organized sector enjoy security of employment. They are expected to work only a fixed number of hours. If they work more, they have to be paid overtime by the employer. They also get several other benefits from the employer. They get paid leave, payment during holidays, provident fund, gratuity, etc. They are supposed to get medical benefits and under the laws. Unorganized sector. The unorganized sector is characterized by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. There are rules and regulations, but these are not followed. Jobs here are low paid and often not regular. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, etc. Employment is not secure. People can be asked to leave without any reason. When there is less work, such as during some season, some people may be asked to leave. A lot also depend on whims of the employer. This sector includes a large number of people who are employed on their own, doing small jobs such as selling on the streets or doing repair work. Similarly, farmers work on their own and hire laborers as and when they require. How to protect workers in unorganized sector? In rural areas, the unorganized sector mostly comprises of landless agricultural laborers, small and marginal farmers, sharecroppers and artisans such as weaver, blacksmith, carpenter, goldsmith, etc. In urban areas, unorganized sector comprises mainly of workers in small scale industries, casual workers in construction, trade and transport, etc. and those who work as street vendor, head load workers, garment workers, rag pickers, etc. We also find that a majority of workers from scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and backward communities find themselves in the unorganized sector. Sectors in terms of ownership. Public sector, In public sector, the government owns most of the assets and provides all the services. Railways or post office is an example of public sector. Private sector. In private sector, ownership of assets and delivery of services is in the hands of private individuals or companies. Companies like Tata Iron and Steel Company Limited or Reliance Industry Limited are privately owned. Thank you. Have a nice day.